This last segment discusses the former streets appropriated in the 1940s and 1950s to build the downtown portions of the Hollywood and Harbor freeways and the four-level interchange. Beaudry Avenue exemplifies the history and development of the area. It is the legacy of a Los Angeles pioneer, Prudent Beaudry. In 1850, French-Canadian brothers Victor and Prudent Beaudry were among those to arrive in California during the gold rush. Both worked as merchants in mining camps. Prudent Beaudry made his way to Los Angeles in 1852. A man with bold business acumen, Beaudry took risks when he purchased cheap land on the outskirts of the young city, made the land habitable, and laid out several housing tracts. One of those tracts was Bunker Hill, which gained its name from the primary street, Bunker Hill Avenue, named in 1876 for the Revolutionary War centennial of the Battle of Bunker Hill. By 1883, the area bordering Olive, Temple, and Bunker Hill Avenue was compared to San Francisco's affluent Nob Hill. The critical need for an adequate water supply in his subdivisions led him to join Dr. John Griffin and Solomon Lazard in forming the Los Angeles City Water Company in 1868. Their company became the water provider to the entire city. Beaudry's Midas touch included his election as mayor from 1874 to 1876. His brother Victor was also residing in the city and was the sales agent for subdivisions adjacent to Bunker Hill, including the Rosas Tract, the West Rosas Tract, and the Beaudry Tract, which encompassed today's Chinatown. Victor Beaudry sold land in 1886 to William Stilson, who developed the property into Angelino Heights. Another subdivision in 1886 was the Park Tract, located in today's northwest section of the Civic Center. By the 1890s, Bunker Hill's well-to-do residents began moving out as oil drilling pockmarked the landscape. By the 1940s, the homes were deteriorating. The grand mansions were gradually converted to cheap rooming houses, and the area developed a criminal reputation. A municipal project was enforced to redevelop the neighborhoods. Here are some of the homes pictured in the late 1960s. Neighborhoods in adjacent tracts, the Beaudry Tract and the Park Tract, were maturing as well. Newer outlying suburbs drew the middle class away, and low-income residents took their place. By 1947, construction of portions of the Hollywood and Harbor freeways and the four-level interchange would puncture and slice away the old subdivisions. The first LA freeway, the Pasadena Freeway, formerly the Arroyo Seco Parkway, took away corners of the Beaudry Tract. Later downtown freeway projects mostly affected the Park Tract. Evictions took place as early as 1945 along the 101 Hollywood route. Residents protested, but eventually segments of the north and south, running Centennial and Custer streets, gave way for the four-level, which broke ground in 1947. The Cloverleaf, the Freeway Junction, or the Los Angeles Interchange, as it was known, was finished in July of 1949. The east and westbound Court Street sat in the way of the Harbor Freeway, just north of First Street, and was demolished by 1948. The first segment of the freeway opened July 30th, 1952, and stretched from the four-level interchange down to 3rd Street. Around 1948, two streets were leveled to make way for the last segment of the Hollywood Freeway, where it converged with the four-level. One was Fort Moore Street. The other was California Street, which was originally named in 1896 for two separate streets in Beaudry's Park Tract, Sand Street and Bunker Hill Avenue. An early filmmaking presence was located here. The East Coast-based film company called the Mutoscope and Biograph Company had a West Coast address at 312 California Avenue in 1909. Once residential streets like Mignonette and Custer Streets now dead end to the path of freeways. The stories behind city street names serve as permanent reminders of our shared sense of place, and those stories can be introduced to new generations as well as visitors and newcomers. This video has shown the significance of Los Angeles street names through documents and historic photographs from the Seaver Center for Western History Research, touching upon the rich heritage of Los Angeles and its layers of history made by those city builders and dwellers who have passed through the land we call our own. As long as street signs exist, our past is always present.